Praise the Lord, everyone. And listen, welcome back to season number 2 of the Love Story. We are your hosts, Elder Chris and Minister Kimberly Graham. Listen, we are back. We missed y'all. We are so excited to be back for season number 2. Listen, the powers that be brought us back. We thought we was done in season 1, but they said, nah, we want to get another season. So we are here for season 2. We thank God for all of you all that have tuned in to watch this broadcast on tonight. Again, we're just excited, man, to be back in season 2 as your host. For another season, another episode of the Love Story. We appreciate you all.
Somebody said that we was actually doing an okay job.
I guess so.
They brought us back.
I guess so.
For now. So shout out to y'all. Listen, we have been gone for a cool minute. Definitely season. So much has changed. So we got to catch y'all up. We want to get caught up with y'all. Some of y'all we haven't seen since the convention.
Right.
We saw y'all. Shout out to those of you who stopped us at the convention and showed so much love to the Love Story.
Absolutely.
Man, we love y'all. We felt low-key like little celebrities. I was walking around.
I was trying to be humble, but
trying to be.
But it was cool because like there were so many people that like stopped me. It's like, oh man, you guys are so cool. You're all so interesting. We want to get on the Love Story ourselves.
They want to get on.
Like, okay, cool. Listen, if you want to be on the Love Story, hit us up, shoot us instant messages. Text us, whatever, call us,
whatever.
Let us know if you want to be on the Love Story. We would love to hear your story. And so we just got so many people at the convention that just wanted to be a part. So I was like, I guess we're doing an okay job. You know what I mean? So
we got to be a little okay.
I was
a little
excited about that.
So we love y'all, man. We can't wait to catch up with y'all. But we need y'all to hop into this chat.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to like and share. We need y'all in the chat. Who we talking to? Who we looking at? What we doing?
Absolutely.
I'm seeing some of y'all. I see my niece in there. Hey, Ari Boo. That's my girl. Hey, girl. Hey.
What's up, Ed?
That's our family.
Yes,
Ed.
sir. Yes, sir.
We talk to Ed and Toya like every day.
Right. Man.
Y'all thought the Love Story was something y'all should see our group chat. So shout out to the fam. Bam. I see some more family in there. Minister Jess is in there. Hey, girl. Hey. Evangelist Ashley.
All right.
Love it. Y'all keep going. Like and share. We got to catch y'all up.
Share it.
We got to tell y'all what's going on. We got to tell y'all. Y'all got to tell us. We got to tell y'all. Hey, and now you got to tell me, is it Nashara or Nashara? But hey, girl, hey, keep up with the comments, girl. Keep up with the comments.
Right.
Because we got our PCAF family today.
Online today.
Listen, the Love Story goes across all lines.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We will cross all lines. Hey, cousin.
Absolutely.
We see you, girl. We see you. So we are super excited for this couple, for y'all to meet, for us to kind of dig deep. Yeah. Oh, thank you, girl. No, but now I don't remember what I said. I said, Jess, don't you start no mess.
Evangelist Beatty. Praise the Lord.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord, Bishop.
Hey, my big brother.
Well, we call you Bishop. But look, we are so excited for y'all. Can y'all tell we excited? We've missed y'all.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, I think.
Jesus.
So since the last time we've seen y'all, we're still married. Hey, high five.
Still going strong. Yes, sir.
We made it.
Yes, sir.
Right. This will be going on year number 20. Fam. Craig.
Hey, what up, Craig?
Dude, Craig
Canada,
dropped a beat
Canada
on IG that was dope. Shout out to Craig.
Wait, he dropped a beat on IG?
Yeah, he dropped a beat. It was like a little snippet of one of his songs coming out. He didn't put. Oh man, it was dope. I had to message him. It was dope. I'm gonna play it for you.
Yeah, shoot it to me.
I'll shoot it to you. Yeah. Craig was out there dropping beats. He dropping an EP soon. Our brother didn't drop the EP.
On the ones and the twos.
Like
Come on,
the ones and the twos. So it's good.
Yeah.
But look, y'all, since we last saw y'all, look, we're still married. Hallelujah. We've had a convention. Hallelujah. Yeah. We've gotten rid of a kid. He is now in Hampton.
University.
At Hampton University. My son and my money goes to Hampton, the real HU. That's what we're told to say. All right. So we missed y'all, but listen, nothing else has changed. Y'all still know the name of the game. This is the Love Story. So tonight we got a fantastic couple.
Special guest on tonight.
Fantastic couple. Y'all, I would say it's gonna get spicy, but it's not gonna get spicy because I don't really know. We don't know them like that yet. So I don't know if I'm gonna be spicy.
Yeah.
So he gonna calm me down. Y'all know how we roll. But listen, I'm so excited that we get to join forces with the PCAF. Our own personal assembly at our own church. Shout out to Bethlehem Temple and our Bishop Richardson, Gentry Richardson Jr. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, sir. Best pastor on this side of heaven.
This side of heaven. Y'all rep. Yeah, thanks, girl.
Rep your church.
Rep your church, rep your council, rep your bishop, rep your state.
Rep
but
everything.
We are always working with and fellowshipping with our PCAFI family.
Absolutely.
So this is really great for us to be able to touch base with a part of them and a part of us.
Shout out to my big bro, Aaron Porter. Love you, man. Appreciate you.
We owe you that text.
Yes,
we'll text you back later.
Yes,
I told him to text you if you don't see it. So anyway, without further ado, we want to bring on this couple.
The Kirskeys. Let's bring them on.
Let's bring them on.
Hey, fam. How y'all doing?
We doing good. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good to see y'all.
Look, I should have changed my shirt. I'm hot.
You know, I was gonna put on a sweater, and then I said it's still summertime. Even if I'm in my apartment, I'm not gonna be hot.
So, well, see, today was the first day in LA that it wasn't 10 degrees from hell. That today was the first day.
Is that hot? Huh?
No, it's been hot
because it was 75.
Yeah, it's still hot in St. Louis, so I'm not even gonna play myself like that.
See, these are my St. Louis family, so we didn't even get to talk about that because I'm from St. Louis.
Really?
Born and raised.
All right.
Come on back. You gotta come on.
So, I'm come back. Somebody, we won't say no names, will not leave the West Coast.
It's fair.
So it's fine.
You gotta let her come back. You gotta let
That's what I tell you.
She can come back anytime she wants to come visit. I don't.
You said you ain't coming.
Right. No.
You might always come back and visit.
Hey, you know what? Actually, I love St. Louis, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Been there many a times. Love it. Just listen. I don't like them nasty. Sorry. White Castle burgers.
You don't have to say sorry because I'm not originally
not anointed at this
White Castle is trash compared to In-N-Out. We're all the way. Thank you. Somebody put trash.
Nobody asked you.
Yeah, no, it is trash. Whoever put trash up there, it is true.
Yeah.
No, that's Marvin, and it's not. Please give me 4 cheeseburgers with a cheese fry and a large chocolate shake. Please and thank you.
So
y'all got to come to California. We're going to take you to In-N-Out. Once you go to In-N-Out,
I don't.
you're not going to want White Castle no more.
In-N-Out is good. I get it.
Okay.
I don't like
In-N-Out. It's a homemade burger. I got you.
Yeah, we want homemade. We don't want the fake stuff. She said,
that's less White Castle all day. Please
and thank.
I took him to Steak and Shake. I got him some
Chinaman.
Chinaman. We like
emos.
I was just over by Chinaman
I don't
today.
mess with emos.
You know anything
you
about
don't mess with emos? Okay. All right.
I don't like
was the White Castle. That's the only thing because it was. You know what?
I'm in the charge.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not that I didn't like it. I think more so what it was is my wife had pumped it up. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, this burger is gonna be amazing. And so I get there, and all it is some meat and some bread.
Thank you, Chef.
Like, it's just meat and bread.
Thank you, Mama.
Ain't nothing special about this. You know what I'm saying?
White Castle.
So I was disappointed because my wife hyped this burger up, and I'm thinking it's like a homemade, something I can make at the house, and no.
It's good for the first few tries, and after a while, you kind of
okay.
So it's In-N-Out.
For like when you done left your lifestyle.
In-N-Out hits every time.
I'm sorry, White Castle is only for when you have left your debaucherous lifestyle, and it's late. It's like 2-3 in the morning. Bad. That is the only time White Castle.
Said, you're such a hater.
That's my guy. Yes, he is such a hater. Now, Jalen. Now listen, Jalen. Now listen.
I'm sorry. I grew up on White Castle. It's nasty. It's only suitable for late at night.
Oh,
that's where you go for late at night.
She said they better than roll tacos. You saw that?
Well, roll taco is a taquito if you want to have that conversation. But we hear about the Kirkseys. So let's talk to
We're really about to get deep into this argument about food.
I mean, because we's about to
exactly
the love story, building and breaking marriages all over the place. Over White Castle.
Right.
All right, fam. How y'all doing? We're gonna restart.
Let's restart. All right, now wait.
We're doing good.
That's what high school y'all went to, and then that's a whole different conversation.
We just went off the rails.
We did, but we love it because then y'all match our madness.
Absolutely, absolutely on any given day.
Any given day. We already had our little behind the scenes. We got it. We all got the same target. I won't call him an enemy because we love our brother. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We is back, ready like we never left. So you all tell us a little bit about yourselves. We know you. Let the people know. Oh, you know how we play all day, every day.
Yeah.
So why don't y'all let the people know a little bit about y'all? Tell us how long y'all been married. Let's start off with something easy.
I'll go. Yeah. We've been married for about 6 months. We got married this past February. We got engaged after about 10 months of marrying one another. So we're very fresh. I like to say you can still smell the Similac on us. The ink is still drying on our license. But we are, we dated for 10 months before we got engaged, and then another 9 months after that. So altogether about a little over a year of dating. And then I'm not originally from the St. Louis area. I came down here when my parents started pastoring in the East St. Louis area. So that's kind of how I ended up in this area. I'm originally from Chicagoland area. So that's how I know Mark.
Oh, you don't like White Castle. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
I grew up on White Castle. I didn't start disliking White Castle until I came an adult and I came into my consciousness and I realized it's nasty. But that's for another day. We're not gonna be petty on here. I can't
seek him yet again.
I got a witness. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. That and the little sauce that they put on it, it's lies and deception.
What sauce is on White Castle? Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Maybe that's
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So born and raised Chicagoland area, grew up in a PCFI Apostolic Church.
Shout out to Bishop Gates.
It wasn't somebody's with me. But
Ben is an illegitimate minister, so please don't.
Not an illegitimate minister. I don't even know him, but you ain't gotta do him like that. You ain't gotta do him. Like
illegitimate. He ain't got no license. He ain't got no papers. Go ahead.
But yeah, so my parents started pastoring about 10 years ago. So that's what kind of brought me into the area. Went here for undergrad to SIUE, and then I left, went home, came back again, and when we moved down here, that's when I ended up meeting Caleb. Probably about a year into me living here, and we met through mutual friends. I'm gonna let you take it from there, babe.
My name.
Oh, that's cute. You know they early married.
Like I don't know how y'all want me to do it, so I'm like, I'm talking to you now.
I'm just saying, our license is chiseled in stone. That's how long we've been married. But yeah, that's cute.
It's real fresh.
Yeah, we just being respectful. I've been here in St. Louis all my life. My name is Caleb. Like I said, been here all my life. My father was a pastor. Church baby, pew baby, all of that. I'm an arts. Went to school for art and kind of graduated with that degree. Trying to pursue art right now, in addition to ministry and of course other things.
Cool.
So I'm just trying to work the talents, work the gifts, and one of my gifts is how I actually met her when I was singing at a concert.
Okay.
Into that later, but yeah, that's me. I'm part of PAW. Been here all my life. PAW born and bred, ain't leaving, but
and PAW spread clearly because now we.
Oh, you really had to put that part in there. We gonna leave it out.
Helping them out.
Yep, and so yes, ma'am.
So what kind of art? When you say art, like, are you talking about like the artwork behind you? Because that's dope. Or
yeah, I am into children, like illustration, comic book. So I do a lot of children's book illustrations and comic book, but I also do graphic design. So I'm just trying to get out here, grow my talents, but also make this money, bring this income, trying to take care of the lady. And so just make it happen. So
okay, I love it.
That's what's up. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the story. So I know you said that you all met at a concert. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we met.
Go ahead and talk about that. How did that formulate? How did that happen?
So, like I said before, I'm not originally from the St. Louis area, and so when I got down here, I was really in a space where I wanted to start meeting people. So I was kind of trying to branch out, and so I met what ultimately ended up being mutual friends of his, and so I met them probably like a week or 2 weeks prior to that, and we just really hit it off. And so I found out that they were going to a concert, and I reached out to the wife, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are going to this concert? I was thinking about going." And she was just like, "You should really come out. You should come out to this concert." And so at this point, I'm like, "Okay, well now I know somebody, so I feel a little bit more comfortable going to the concert." And so I ended up meeting them up there. And what I didn't know is that they had a conversation prior to leaving that night, and they had said like, "Oh, I think Jalen and Caleb should meet one another."
Oh wow,
that's a setup.
Yeah.
And so like they literally went with that in mind to introduce us. And so that evening, we, I told them, I was like, I was trying to figure out why y'all kept introducing me to everyone, because every person that they met, they kept like doing this really intense like introduction of me. And so they were like, "We were trying to introduce you to everybody, so by the time we brought you and introduced you to Caleb, y'all wouldn't realize what we were doing." And so they introduced us. And so what ended up happening is that I walked away. And at that point, he then did what?
Yeah. No, see, I was just trying to sing. I was trying to do, use my
just do the Lord's work, huh? You was just trying to work for the Lord.
I didn't even know she was there.
You know she was coming, or
I did not.
We didn't know one another.
I didn't. She said she noticed me while I was on the stage, but I didn't see her at the end of the concert. And so, me, I was just trying to sing, was trying to, do my thing, just trying to remember the words, because I've never been in a concert like that.
Brother said he was focused on his assignment.
That's what he said he was doing.
And so I got this thing, and I was like, "Hey, I'm good." I did my thing. And so they started bringing just Jalen around and meet different people. And so I got there, and we all in a circle, and I'm like, "This girl is cute." I said, "This girl is beautiful." But me, I'm
assignment complete, huh?
Yeah. So I was immediately attracted. I was immediately there, like, "Oh, this girl is nice." However, I'm an introvert, so it's like me trying to speak to new people and trying to get to know. It's like my brain just go crazy, like, try not to say nothing stupid. And so in that moment, I was just trying to take it all in. And so just
take all my beauty in.
Yeah.
Beauty. I know. I look good. I'm really trying to play it cool, but y'all, I'm such an extrovert. I look good that night. So
I was gonna ask you.
I was cute. I was cute that night. I knew I was cute too.
What was you wearing? Because I knew
I had on, because it was a concert, I was trying to be like a little cool. So I had on like some type of like little poofy dress, and then I had some some Converse kicks with it. I had this like little cute little hat on, and I had these long Rapunzel like braids just going down.
See, help the people.
They was blonde too. I had a little. When I put it on, I knew I was cute. Like, I knew what I put on, and I looked in the mirror. I said, "Girl, you look cute. God made you cute, and you know that." So
and she was.
Walk out boldly. And it just so happened that he saw me that night, and he knew too. And we thank God that he had enough consciousness to know that.
Because had he not been focused on the Lord, he wouldn't have seen your beauty. Look at God. You see all the people boldly.
Or if I did while I was singing, I wouldn't have finished my song. So the Lord,
you would have been a distraction.
But the Lord,
Jesus, I forgot everything.
That would have been a distraction, Lord.
So y'all are in this circle. You've now met her. You have taken in all of your beauty, all of her beauty. You have taken it in, and then what happens? Do you?
And then we all. Then the girls leave. Well, she walks away with the friends. But I'm still there with my friend Isaiah Carter. Him and his wife, the ones who introduced me and Jalen. So I immediately turned to him. I'm like, "Man, who is that?" And so I don't normally do that. And he always joke now, like, "Man, I have never seen you like act, just act like that." So I was like, "Who is that?" First, I wanted to know who she was, but I also want to know how old she was.
I look young for my age. I look very young for my age.
I said,
No, we look good for our age, honey. We don't never look young. We always look good.
Yeah, always. That's a good way to put it. Always look good.
Always.
And so he said she was 26. I was 33, 32 at the time. And so after that, I was like, okay. I said, I think she's real cool. So we all went out to dinner that night. And
His phone died on the way, and I was following him.
Wait a minute, no.
I was following him, and his phone died.
She said, "Get to it." She said, "Get to it, Caleb."
Yeah, because he wasn't getting there. I knew he was going to try to skip over that part. He let me follow him across St. Louis in the dark, and had to go hopefully by his own GPS in his mind, because his phone died. Because his phone was over his time.
They said, "Let us go to IHOP," and so. I'm glad they said it was the IHOP that I knew. If they would have said it was another
you
IHOP,
were already trying to,
because I told you I ain't know nobody.
So in the dark.
You look, because if I showed up at an IHOP and it was the wrong IHOP, sir, you about to get a call on you. You're gonna get the 911 called on you if I end up at the wrong IHOP. I don't know what you thought this was, but this ain't that.
This would have been stranger danger.
Yes,
absolutely.
So I was like, Lord, I got one chance. Well, my iPhone just died. And so I remember exactly the one they told us to go to. So we ended up there and say, hey, the Lord.
Caleb was holding true to his name that day. He going to spy land. He like,
look, that he know God for real. He know God. That prayer answered him. No, he didn't have
no chart in the car. It was do or die in that moment.
I mean, I bet you got one now, though.
Wow. I do. See,
right.
Don't tempt the Lord.
Don't do it.
So y'all get to the IHOP. Are y'all sitting next to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put us together. You know, they.
Who is they? I need a shout out to the they.
Right.
Isaiah Carter, Charlene Carter, Mariah Dobson, Matthew Dobson.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, we need to get them on the love story.
Right,
Second of all, how much they paying for holy hookups?
Right.
When I tell you, people have asked us that before. Like they did their good work.
I mean, they must have been sackcloth and ashes, prayer in their closet.
They heard. I always tell Isaiah, I'm like, you heard from God. Y'all. I know y'all close to the Lord.
I imagine somebody woke up and said, "The Lord said, meet at this concert on this here day
and go to IHOP
and
spy on the land."
It really was like, I can't say it any other way. It was a low key holy hookup.
It was.
I mean, no, that's a high key holy hookup.
Right.
It was the Lord for sure. I've never been willing to be hooked up, and he had never been willing to be hooked up by anybody. And we laughed that night. We laughed about people trying to, hook us up, and we just were like how bad it had been in past times. And so it was like the fact for it to happen that way. There you go, Charlene. Charlene already in there talking about we do the best we can. You
there
do.
You go.
And
sis, we got to get you. I got to talk about this. So Ed said y'all wanted to sit next to each other. Y'all capping.
I did.
I thought he was cute. I will admit, I thought he looked good when I saw him. Like, hey, I got two eyes too. I thought he looked handsome. But here you go. Here he about to get real in his flesh, y'all. He been going to the gym, so he really
that side
feeling himself. But it was like I think in that season I was just trying to just meet people. Like I didn't go into that situation thinking I was gonna meet the man that I was gonna marry.
Right.
I didn't go into that situation. Even when I moved down here, I don't think I ever believed that I was going to end up staying down here, that I was going to end up meeting someone and getting married. It just wasn't that, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't feel like that was in the cards for my life at that time. And so it was just kind of like, oh, wow, God, you was watching and working things out even when I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Now listen, that's a word right there. Yeah. He always watching, even when we don't know. We the ones who don't know.
Absolutely.
So you all go to IHOP and you eat, you have a good time. Mm-hmm. After IHOP is over with, who hits who up first? How did that work?
I'm gonna say Caleb.
It was Caleb.
Okay.
But it was really funny because our friends really did a lot of work and for that first initial phase. So my friend reached out and she was just like, Mariah, she was just like, because he asked me to let him know when I made it back. So I said, yeah.
Oh, that's the line right there.
He was like, let me know when you make it back to your house. Because
I let her back home. She was new to the city. So I kind of let her.
There he go. She knew
something.
My GPS ain't nice, so I was going to make it.
Right.
His phone dead.
No, but I knew the highway. So I was like, hey, let me lead you to the highway the highway is gonna get you back.
You didn't really lead me. I had a GPS, but that's all right. I'll let you think. I'll let you think that, babe. I love you. I love
you. Got stopped at the street and you was about to go the wrong way.
That's a whole nother thing. You took that as your opportunity to let me know. Either way, he ended up seeing me as I was driving out, and I told him, "Hey, I'll let you know when I make it home. I'll tell someone that I made it home."
See that?
So yeah, okay,
right?
Okay. We're staying on. We're gonna stay on track.
We're on track.
We're gonna stay on track. And so I told my friend, "Hey, Kayla wanted me to let you all know so you could text him." And so at that point, she was like, "Oh, do you want to let him look?" Yep. She was like, "Do you want to let him know?" And I was like, "No. You can let him know, and you can give, if you want, you can give him my number, and then that way it's in his corner. So if he wants to reach out to me, he has the opportunity to, because it's like, I didn't know if I didn't have all the backstory that I now have. So it was like, I didn't know that he felt me enough to like want to reach out, want to get to know me further. So I kind of just put it in his, the ball in his court. So if he wanted to reach out, he could. I wasn't waiting on a text. I wasn't thinking
that part.
Text. It was just like, hey, I've done my part to let you know. And so he ended up reaching out to me like a week later. From there, we just talking.
Caleb,
we gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna leave. You see how I put that in there?
Now all of these people up here giving you all these
get them
protective. You doing a good job. You checking on a week.
Yeah,
you got even Edward talking about a week later.
Caleb.
That man had my number the next day.
I was trying to gauge.
She done walked back to IHOP in a week.
I was trying to gauge when is the right time to reach out, because most guys, we don't reach out the next day. That's like you. Oh, he did. Oh well, my bad, bro.
Now let me tell you. You know what I told him too that night when we were at dinner? I said, I was very much myself. I've always been an extrovert. I've always been a very outspoken person. Like, that's just who I am.
Benjamin's right.
And I said, like, I told him, I was like, yeah, like, I like to let the guy that's pursuing me needs to like pursue me. Like, you gotta let me know you feeling me. Like, I want to feel like I'm being almost a little stalked. Let me know you looking
I was
for
definitely
me.
Stalked.
Like make me feel like, oh, every time I see him, he around every corner. See. And so he then waited a week almost later to.
I mean, Ed, he didn't have to come off thirsty, but he could at least came off parched.
Yeah, like come off like you've been in the desert at least a day.
I mean, a day, 2 days.
I had to wait. I had to make sure.
I would have gave you 3 days. One for the Father, one for the Son, and one for the Holy Ghost.
Come on, 3 days, and then you arrive.
Sure.
And then you raise up.
So what does he tell you in a week? How does that text conversation go?
Too. I can't remember fully what it was. But it was like, hi, this is Caleb. I got your number from Mariah. I hope that's okay.
I know. I have never
that's legit what he said.
I have never had that kind of like gift of gab. Some guys, they talk smooth, they can say all the good stuff. I've never had that. So me, I had to, kind of play.
He had to pass.
Not you.
You passed for a week.
Like, I went to Shaw, like, I gave him like a very clear, like, sweat me. And he waited a week. Like, anything could have happened in a week.
But look what happened. Where are we?
Okay, see?
There you go.
All right, now you want to talk his talk. He ain't had nothing to say a week later, but now you want to talk his talk.
Look what happened.
See?
So y'all now talking a week. So we assume y'all start dating, which my good sis did her good thing. You better be happy she an extrovert and that she was available in a week. Your prayers have been answered. So you all start to realize that you like each other, or do you go out on?
Well,
Ben, get out of the comments.
Ben has got me weak. He said something about, I wanted him to be like, oh boy, off of you. If you ain't seen you, but that one had me gone.
Told you he ain't got no papers.
He ain't got no.
How long was it? So we know that you waited a week to.
Oh, he was preaching out the country. Wait a minute. Carter said he was.
You never know.
He was not out the country though. I can tell you that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. International ministry. Okay. All right.
So how long did it take, or how long did you all talk before you started dating, or you expressed how you felt about him or how you felt about her?
Because these text messages Caleb was sending was real basic. So
we met on June 3rd, like for the first time ever. We went on our first date on June 24th or 25th. So it really didn't take long. Like once he texted me, we kind of began to talk quite a bit. Gotcha. I think we had like one other joint like friend activity that we all did together as a group.
Gotcha.
And then he ended up asking me out, and we ended up going to like the art museum. And I know for me personally, after that first initial interaction was like, maybe he was a little bit different than what I was used to, but it was his heart. Like I always say, like it was his heart, his intentionality behind it that I could really perceive. And I think I remember like sending him a text afterwards because we ended up being together for like 7 hours that day. And like we had went to bed texting one another like early into the morning. On the phone all the way into the day we went on our date. And then we got off the phone, slept for like an hour or two, and then met up to go on our date. He came and picked me up and we went on our date and we were together for like 7 hours straight. And so it was from that moment, like I was just like, there's something different about him. And I appreciated that. And I think I was looking for different in that season of my life. And he just was what God wanted for me.
You said that he wasn't what you were used to.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a 2-part question.
Yeah.
What were you used to? And what part of that at what point did you realize you needed something different or wanted something different?
So about 6 months before I met Caleb, I had gotten out of a relationship that I thought was going to be the relationship for me. And ultimately, we just realized we were not aligned in a couple of different ways that were really important. Relationally, spiritually, personality-wise, and ultimately what we wanted for our lives. And so when that relationship ended, it was kind of like, okay, what's going on? Like something's not right. Like you really want to reevaluate what you're looking for out of a relationship. And I realized that some of the things that I thought, and I said this even previously, is that, Caleb really made me rethink what I identified as a man. Like how I was at. And I have a father. I have a very good father. And even the guys that I dated weren't even like my father. Like my father is a lot more like Caleb than any of the guys that I had previously dated. But it was like, for whatever reason, I think maybe culturally what I was seeing, what society was saying was the type of man I should be pursuing or being in relationships with. And so it was like, I was trying to figure out like, what is it that I'm looking for? Because I'm dating these type of macho Iron Man type of dudes. And I'm feeling like I'm coming up empty in those relationships. And so I left that relationship and it was about 6 months out. And I think about 2 or 3 months before I met Caleb, me and my mom were having a conversation and she was just like, well, what are you looking for? And I just began to tell her like, I know I'm not ready to get married right now at this moment, but I would like to meet the person that I'm going to marry. And I'd already listed out all these different things that I was looking for in a man, prayerfully. And the reason why I did it was not so I could like have this idea of like, if this man doesn't meet this,
the list.
It wasn't like a list per se in the way that, people have made it seem like lists should be, but it was more so that when I saw it, I would recognize that and identify it. It was like, I would have a list and then be mad at myself and that other person because I'm dating them, but they don't even have all the qualities that I said I wanted in somebody. So it's like, right. You're not even going by what you say you wanted. And so I made that list kind of to teach myself like, hey, if this person doesn't meet this, if this person doesn't meet that, it was kind of like writing your vision.
Right. He on your vision board, like, but it just didn't say Caleb.
Yeah, like it just didn't say Caleb, but it was just like, these are the things that I want, and this is what I would like in the person that I married. And when I met Caleb and I got to know Caleb over time, I was like, let me check my list. And all of those things and more were on that list. And it was not necessarily like, ooh, Caleb's I think he's the best thing since sliced bread, but that's also because I'm his wife and I love him.
Right. Too. You better.
Yeah. But it's also like, I understand like he's human. Nobody should be put on on a wheel or whatever it is, like I can't think of the word pedestal. Right now. On a pedestal yet. But, he was sincere in it, and he had a true like sincerity. Everything he said, I could take it and write home about it. I could bet on it. You know, he didn't try to be anything that he wasn't. And in that way, it was different than what I was used to.
Right.
And that was something that I appreciated, because up until then, I thought I needed that guy who, you know, tell me what to do and, you know, be all macho, but that's not what I needed. That's not what I came from. And so I really appreciated it when I finally got to Caleb.
Wow.
Awesome. Caleb, your turn. Same question. We already know you done took in all of her beauty, led her to IHOP and sorted her house.
Yeah.
With a dead phone.
Yeah.
And then you send this basic text. So now, how did you know she was the one? Because granted, there's what, a 6-7 year age difference between the two of you?
5.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 year difference.
So, but you can say it's 6 and 7. I like to tease him about it.
She tells me all the time.
So there's like a 5 year age difference. So you're older, but being the man, certainly she's not the first young lady you've seen, but she is the first that has captured your eye to this degree. What was it about her? How did you decide she was the one?
Now, that's like a twofold answer, because that night, and I don't really tell a bunch. I told her after a while, but I don't really like broadcast it. That night.
Well, you telling some 90-something people now, so just FYI.
That night at IHOP, the Lord spoke to me while I was sitting next to her. He said, "Do not miss the chance to get to know her."
Wow.
And I just met her that night, and of course I liked her then, because I was like, man, this girl's really cool. But at that table, the Lord spoke to me. He said, "Do not miss a chance to get to know her." And so, but to me, it's like I got to take my time, just because I hear the voice of the Lord don't mean all of a sudden in your mind you just go.
Right.
That's a word too. A word from somebody.
Yeah.
You gotta let it. You gotta ease into it.
Just because the Lord spoke don't mean it's today.
Yes, and so I had to take my time, and then from then on, then we went on the date. That first date, what really made me really like her is it was her mind. We went to art museum. Art is my thing. I love talking about art. But not everybody can do that. Not everybody can go in the art museum and just be smart, or I won't say
not be smart.
But
when I saw it on your spec sheet, I said their first date was at an art museum. So
who did take you to art museum?
Yeah. So when we were looking at a piece of art, and she had a really powerful perspective that made me feel like, man, I didn't really see that at all when I looked at her. So that moment just made me like, what is in this woman's head? What is in her mind that, then she was a librarian. That's one thing we learned at the table. And so that was something that's secretly something I always thought, like, what if I get a cute librarian? Like, that's something I was always attracted to. For whatever reason, I was librarian.
Right.
And so then I found that out about her. Then I know it's funny, but then I found that out about her. And then we went to the art museum. I'm like, this girl is smart. And so sometimes you want to let a person know, hey, you think they're beautiful, and you want them to know that, hey, I'm attracted to you. But what was really drawn, like, this girl has a mind, and me, I was raised with strong women. I got a strong mom, a strong godmother, strong sister, strong aunt. So to me, I wanted a girl with a mind. I wanted somebody who was just like, yes, whatever you say, or can't do anything.
Whatever you like.
We ain't what that comes to America. No, we don't want that. And so when I realized, hey, this girl has a mind of her own. She's smart. And she was telling me her dreams, like she wanted to be a library director. And to me, I ain't never met nobody who wanted to be a library director. I didn't even know you could do that. So I was like, so it was just a lot of things that didn't just draw me to
coming to America.
Which she was beautiful, but it drew me to her mind. And I was like, okay, this is a once in a lifetime woman. And so don't let that pass you up. So
don't let it go. Yeah,
don't let it go.
Yeah. Don't miss your blessing.
Yeah, and from that moment on, I was okay. Let's do it, Jesus. I heard the voice of the Lord. Then I started really digging who she is and what she is, and so from that moment on, I pursued. I remember somebody telling me, they was like, people in relationships today, and it was just one of our somebody I grew up with. He was like, he was like, young people in relationships today, they don't really tell their intentions. They play around sometimes and what they're trying to do. He said, and so I took that. And he was like, if you're gonna pursue somebody, pursue them. You know,
Right.
Don't play with them.
Yeah, don't play with them.
Don't toy with them. Don't act like you don't really know what you want. So from that moment on, I told her like, hey, this is what I want. You know, I didn't go like super deep to scare you, but I'm like, hey, I'm not here to play around with your thoughts. I'm not here to
I'm
play
sure
around
she's
with your
had plenty
emotions.
of men who have come to her and said, the Lord said you was my wife.
And because I wanted to let him finish, but I'm just.
So I didn't say like
yeah.
that. So I didn't want to scare her. So I was no, I said no, I ain't gonna do it like that. But and so instead, I wanted to let her know my intentions as far as like, hey, I want to get to know you. I'm not playing around with your feelings, emotions, stuff like that. You know, I'm legit in a sense. Yeah.
And one of the things, I don't want to cut you off.
No, go.
I was gonna say, and one of the things that like he didn't know, but he operated with his intentionality and his clarity and his communication with me. What he didn't know is that my heart was a little tender at that time. And I didn't need somebody that was gonna come in and just mess with my heart, mess with my mind.
Right.
I was already, I'd been there, done that, and so it was like, I'm giving you a chance. I'm gonna try it. Like, I'm gonna try this love thing out. I'm gonna go and risk it and see if this is legit again. And I appreciate that because he always handled my heart with care. And in fact, he never was intimidated by my dreams. He was never intimidated. Like, I'm in grad school for a dual degree program. So I'm getting my degree for librarianship, but I'm also getting my degree for an MBA. Doing that at one time.
Right.
And I'm, so it was like, I didn't need somebody that was going to be intimidated by that. I didn't need anybody that was going to dissuade me from that because maybe they wanted a stay-at-home wife. They wanted, or as a female preacher, it's like, I didn't want somebody that's like, I don't believe in female preachers, or I don't, that's not really what I want. I didn't want any of that. I didn't need any of that. And I'd encountered that in one way, shape, or form in previous relationships or previous interactions. And so when Caleb came along, we had a conversation where he was just like, I wanted somebody who has a mind. I want somebody who has opinions. I want somebody that has a dream of their own. And he was like, I always felt like I was going to marry a woman that was a preacher. He was like, that's what I came from. And that's what I saw growing up with my parents, because both of my parents preach, and my dad pastors. And so that was the same thing. We had some similarities. So he was more than equipped to accept me and embrace me as who I was. And so I really appreciated that about Caleb, because I needed that in that season of life. I didn't need somebody that was going to come in and make me feel worse or make me feel like doubt myself.
Yeah, that's good. And I love that. I was going to ask you, because you both mentioned, or you mentioned the conversation that you had with how dating was at that time. I think that's the question that happens or gets brought up a lot, is in these days and time, especially for women. Look, we didn't all been through a 4-year pandemic. It was the longest cuffing season ever. Yeah. I mean, this was the cuffing season that never ended. And as soon as we could go outside, people went outside.
And we breathed fresh air.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? But during that time, there were both men and women. I don't want to be unfair to the men.
Absolutely.
There were men and women who found themselves being in relationships that were more out of convenience than they were out of love or even chosen, right? They settled. It was decisions as it was, divinity. Right. I decided to do this instead of waiting for divine order. But you two have taken the time to kind of redefine what dating post the pandemic looks like, right? You didn't have to meet through social media. I mean, granted, you had the holy hookup masters with you.
Clearly,
I mean, the Dobsons and the Carters, clearly.
Right.
I mean, that's a whole business right there. Let me help sis with her LLC. But you have that, but still had the intentionality, I think, is the word that you both have mentioned over and over again, to be who you were in the spaces that you were as individuals, and then came together as one unit, still respecting yourselves as individuals.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Thank
So
you.
now we're gonna fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What you say?
want to fast forward a little bit to
You better get that beard.
It was just that one
Get that beard
little
under submission.
It's just this one little hair.
Get that hair under
My
submission.
OCD squirrel. Okay.
No, I want to fast forward to the marriage portion of it. Now, since you had mentioned that you have not just come from a different church, but from a whole different organization. So normally we marry somebody, and then our wives or whatever, that comes up as far as who's
Marvin's about to get fired. He's getting ready to get fired off.
Caleb rescued her.
You about to get y'all don't know, but I'm gonna let it
Marvin, you can add your
next time I see Marvin, it's
when we have the single version of the love story.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Like I'm
So,
gonna fight Marvin.
so normally, the wife or whatever will come to the man's church or whatever the case may be. And I know that can be difficult within itself.
Yeah.
But in this situation, not only did you go from his church or your church to his church, but you left your organization, the PCAF, to come to the PAW. So I want to hear from you. Was that a difficult decision? And to Caleb, if it was difficult, how did you
help her
adjust in that situation, in that area? And was it a big adjustment for you?
I think that we're still very much in a
adjusting
period. Like I would definitely say we're in an adjustment period.
Okay.
It was easier, I think, moving to a different church because my parents are like 10, 15 minutes away from where we now go. So it's not like I'm too far. It's not like I don't see my parents. It's not like it's a fully out of state type of situation. So the majority of life has stayed the same.
Okay.
I always jokingly say like we're bi-organizational. Because when they had the PAW in St. Louis the last 2 years, I was there meeting people. People. It was like as we were falling in love, I was also learning about the PAW. I knew about them. I knew, some people from the PAW, but I didn't really have an experience. So it was like the last 2 years I was getting to learn the council and getting to learn about the PAW, getting to meet more people so that I didn't feel like a fish out of water. There's a lot that is very similar to the PCAFI and the PAW. Historically, there's very same origins. We come from the same root.
Right. Absolutely.
But also, it's just different because I don't know everybody. And I'm born and raised in the PCAFI. So that's all I knew. That is all I grew up in. So it felt much more comfortable to me. Coming into PAW, it's definitely been more of an adjustment on just feeling comfortable because I just don't know anyone. Know people. But it, for the most part, I just kind of say, hey, I'm bi-organizational. I'll be at PCAFI stuff. I'll be at the PAW stuff. I will happily be a card-carrying member of both if they'll let me. So for me, it's like we kind of switch off.
Okay.
Well, shoot, that must make us bi-organizational too. We go to the PCAFI.
Come on, you could be bi-organizational too.
I mean, we just
I might disrupt some things. Look up Marvin. You're a hater, Marvin.
Marvin said both. Question mark. No, we just love the fellowship,
But I get that because it's very family oriented, right? Both organizations are very family oriented. Right. I think I can understand. I definitely can sympathize and empathize with you on that point. I didn't grow up saved, so when I got saved, it was like, what is this? And why are all these people here? And then we didn't go to the same church either. So then I had to go to his church, and I was like, what is this? And why are these people here? So, I get the wanting to know and just having that familiarity with those that are around you, but also having that ability to be safe with those that are, covering you aside from Caleb. So Caleb, how are you helping to help her adjust, or do you even realize that she needs that adjustment?
Of course, I really care about my wife. So there's certain things I would pay attention to when we were dating. And one thing I pay attention to is like when she's an extrovert, but when she enters a new circle or enters places where she doesn't know, she can get a little nervous. And so I kind of peep that out. And so
we
my
are,
thing is
we are the same. We are one person.
Yeah.
I become like a complete and total introvert when I'm around people I don't know.
And so my thing was like, okay, how can I help her be more comfortable, or how can I make sure she's also around her people more so that she can feel comfortable? So, I love my organization. I love the PAW. I love, born and raised, but I made it a choice to, hey, let me go to some more PCAF, because prior to her, I didn't know anything. I only knew Bishop Gates. That was it.
Yeah.
And so prior to that, I said, let me make sure I go to more PCAF
at Gates,
things.
Sears, Porter.
Yeah, Sears too.
Dockery. Well, out here we got
You know more?
Yeah.
Huh?
You know more?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bishop Moore? That was my childhood
That's where
pastor.
yeah.
Wow.
Shut your mouth, girl.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that I went to her church and I met Bishop Moore, and I wanted to make sure that I went to more things that she's used to, so that she can see, hey, he's not just yanking me away from my home and my church, but he's also, he's also invested in getting to know my people, because not only was she in St. Louis, but most of her family is not in St. Louis. A lot of my family, so it's not just your church,
right?
It's not just my church that's in St. Louis, but my family too. So I guess I just constantly try to make an effort to be around her people as well. That's why I went to the PCAF convention last year and not PAW. And people was like, "You leaving?" I was like, "No, I'm trying to do this for my wife, because she wanted to go."
Ooh, we quick to see who leaving, ain't we?
Yeah.
Went to the PCAF.
It's like I wanted to do this for her. I want her to become. I want her to enjoy herself. Don't mean you got to leave what you just because you're in my organization now. I mean you got to just cut off everything you've been.
Right.
That's just gonna make it even worse for you. And so, every time I go, Bishop Gates be like, "Son, let's change that."
Don't be telling on my bishop. Don't be telling the T on him. Don't be telling on my presider.
I love Bishop Gates. So it's just like, hey, and Jalen, I've always been a person who liked fellowship too.
Yeah.
So it's like I've never been a person like, I only got to go to PAW and that's it. I fellowship with UPC, PAW, Kojic, whoever know Jesus,
Right.
And know his name.
Yeah, it was never for me to just pull her over here, but I want to make sure I'm also entering her world and learning her world.
Absolutely.
Enjoying the people around her, so we can make it a little bit more comfortable for us.
And I will say that I also was never going to make like being a part of another organization a deal breaker. Like, I'm sorry, like we're not gangs. Like, what is this?
Right.
Well,
I think we have to bring the temperature down on this whole concept of like, you're leaving an organization, like, there is so much more to your faith and to your walk and your relationship with God than just solely being a part of one specific organization. So,
I tell people all the time, God is not about to ask me if I was in the PA.
Like, no.
He's not asking any of that. Low key, he's not even asking the name of my church for real.
Right.
So, but I got you. Let me not go too far out here on Cat Williams' internet.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to, but yeah, I wasn't gonna let that be what stopped me from being in the best relationship of my life and meeting the person that God wanted me to marry, because I definitely know it was a God thing for us, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to do some quick hits real quick before we continue on with you all's love story. Real quick.
This is going to be good because they only 6 months in.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear this.
Okay.
Do you all have nicknames for each other?
Yes.
What are
Wait, I just want you to see how quickly Jalen said yes. Caleb went like this.
He ain't want to tell it because he's afraid I'm going to have to say it out loud.
I got to ask, what are they?
I call him my honey bear.
Honey bear, okay.
Y'all don't understand. I love to stress him out. It is my favorite thing to do. Is stress him out. And if I have an audience, even better.
Even better. That's okay. He's your honey bear. This is my sugar bear.
There you go.
The young people call us the sugar bears.
Oh, really?
Come on.
Awesome.
And he's my son.
I call her my cuddle bear.
Come on.
Oh,
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You love me.
All right.
I do.
Next question. If you all could do anything adventurous, what activity would you do?
Ooh, I would be scared to do it, but I would let a skydive.
Yeah.
I'm not jumping out of no
I wanna
perfectly working
skydive.
plane.
Ooh.
That's something I always
I'll be like, can I
couldn't
skydive
do
with
it.
my husband? Can we be connected to the same pack?
I mean, I want to see Jesus, just not today.
You know what? It looked like they can't breathe. I know they're breathing, but it looks like they can't breathe
Yeah,
but
that far up. You know?
Not
you
doing
kind.
that.
I would love to be able to say I flew, but like my heart would be in my stomach.
I'll go to iFly.
Yeah.
Y'all have iFly?
Oh, but that might be fun to try.
Like an hour.
I'll go to iFly. I'll do that.
Ooh, I might have to shoot that then.
That way y'all can get somewhat of the experience.
That's about as far as if the plane is working and the engine is good.
I'm not jumping.
I'm not jumping.
Yeah. What's the best date you all have been on?
The art museum. No.
Mm-mm.
No.
The symphony.
Yes.
Yeah.
The symphony.
You want to tell them?
It was a movie.
You know, I'd be long with it, Mike.
We had a movie. Well, the symphony was showing a movie, but they were also showing the actual orchestra to play along with the movie.
Oh wow! Oh, that's dope.
We went there, and it was really cool. I was like, man, I need to watch.
In St. Louis?
Yeah, St. Louis Symphony Orchestra.
Mm-hmm. So
Wow.
it almost changes the way you watch movies. Actually, if the actual band and orchestra
Right.
are playing,
And they play
and
the whole
so,
soundtrack.
Yeah, I think we already.
I feel like they don't have nothing in LA to do.
Oh,
And-
you gotta go
and there's
look.
some things
I'm
to
sure
do.
they have
There's
Yeah.
tons of things to do.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, that's cool. Besides heaven, what is the number one place you all want to visit?
Oh, we're debating right now for our 1-year anniversary.
Where'd y'all go for y'all honeymoon?
No, I was gonna say, so I think we both want to go to Hawaii, but I
Take me
keep
with you.
laughing because I told him I wanted to go to Disney World.
Take me with you. Both places.
He's such a hater.
She wanna
He
go to
doesn't want to
Disney World.
outright tell me because we newly married, so he's still trying not to hurt my feelings.
She said,
But he don't want to go to Disney World. He feel like it's too immature for a 1-year anniversary. But I said we can go to Hawaii, we can go to St. Lucia. You can take me to Ghana.
I propose at Disneyland.
Mickey
No
on
trip.
that.
I propose.
But
at
I would
Disneyland.
also be down to go to Florida and do all the parks. As a
Ed
grown-up.
said, "Come to Florida." We about to come out there now.
There's nothing to do in Florida but Disney World and Cedar Williams. That's it.
No, Universal Studios.
Oh, and Universal
Yeah.
Studios. That's my
Studios
part.
and SeaWorld.
That's it. And SeaWorld. He did propose at Disneyland, so
Yeah.
I feel like
Disney has a
So why you
special
hating
place
on
in
me?
my
They got proposed to at Disneyland.
See, I'm gonna have to go to Disney World then.
See?
You just changed it.
It's actually
All right, last question.
Uh-huh.
Last question. If
now I had to ask him to ask the question 5 times. He will not ask my question. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I didn't even see your question.
This is what I was doing the
Okay,
whole
well,
time.
let me ask my question
No,
and you can
go
answer
ahead.
it. No.
I don't
Let me
answer.
ask mine.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. So here's my last question, and then she'll ask you a question.
I'm not gonna answer.
If anybody could play you all in a movie, who would it be?
Well, I would say it's two people. She said,
I know who I'm gonna tell you. He's gonna play
but
you.
this guy has a terrible. He just went through some stuff.
No, that's not who I'm gonna play. You don't even bring that man name up.
Oh.
Who was you gonna say? Jussie
gonna
Smollett?
No.
Good.
Jonathan Majors.
If Jonathan Majors didn't know what he
Jonathan.
did, I might.
You should have said
He done
Jussie
went through
Smollett.
some stuff. I said,
But you're not about to. They ain't gonna play my man like that. Play Jonathan
Juicy
Majors.
Smollett to play me.
No.
Who?
Juicy Smollett.
No.
Y'all never heard that joke?
60s.
Y'all got. That's a whole other thing.
Marvin, put your fingers down.
I think for him, Michael B. Jordan,
Okay.
Okay.
See? Okay.
or
Okay.
I can see
Okay.
that.
and for me, I'm trying to think. Tika Sumpter, but I would want
Oh,
to
okay.
I can see that.
I don't know if she could act like I would want an Oscar-worthy performance.
She's definitely not an Oscar-worthy performance, but
So that's why I'm trying to find somebody who could give me an
You don't think
Oscar-worthy.
Chica?
you can do. Well, what about
Lupita Nyong'o.
Latoya?
Chica's good.
Is it Latoya?
I want Lupita to pay me because I want a Oscar-worthy,
Lupita.
I want an Oscar-worthy
Oh, yeah,
performance.
she's good too.
If we're doing somebody older, Yes, give me
Somebody
Angela.
said Angela back.
Angela. That's what now. See, if she was older, I would have said Angela or even Viola, but I would have said Angela for the arms and the skin because you got that
Come on,
going.
Angela.
So I would have did that.
And she would give a performance. They might not. They might not.
Honey,
Be,
they're gonna live for it.
But they would
Live
give.
for it. Okay, I like that.
All right, Ashley.
No, that was a good question. Now my question looks insignificant, so I'm not going to ask it. I was going to ask what was their favorite thing that the other person says, but that's.
What's your favorite thing that the
don't
other
ask
person
it now.
says?
You go first, babe.
Favorite thing. I need to think about that. You
Why?
go
Why you go on bad stuff?
No.
Or can you say it on live?
Oh, I can.
I was gonna say, maybe you can't say it on live. I don't know.
Maybe you can't say it.
I don't know. I would say, I think one thing that I really like that he says about me would be like, babe, you're smart. Your mind. At first I didn't fully understand that, but now I do, and I really appreciate that he didn't put his emphasis and compliments on my physical features. But it was my mind, because the physical features are gonna fade at some point, but the mind will never shift. So I really appreciate that was always the thing that attracted him to me.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's cool.
I'll say something along that lines that lately I've been through a season where I'm just trying to figure certain things out, career-wise and ministry-wise and other things. And sometimes I doubt myself, and so sometimes she literally just grabbed my face. And she'd be like, you're a strong man. You're wise. You're gifted.
Come on with the affirmations. Yeah.
Don't let anybody at work or anybody else stop you from knowing who you are. And she says that a lot. And so I will say, that's why I had to think about it. I said, what I don't want to say anything trivial, but something like real that she always speaks to me. And so I appreciate that.
That's what's up. That's cool. Now, I know you guys are 6 months in, but has the discussion of children come up yet?
Mm-hmm.
You nosy.
Oh, you really? Let me tell you right now. You trying to get us in trouble with our families?
I was like, and
but yeah,
everybody almost said like this.
Quite a bit.
What they say.
They ready. They ready.
We ain't got no announcements.
There's no announcement, but they ready. They ready for a baby. And what I appreciate and what I told Caleb is I don't find it offensive when people ask. And I really appreciate that because I do know that at least means that we have a lot of people who are going to be happy for us.
Yeah.
We trust that are going to be happy for us when we do bring that child. Like our cousins are in the chat, and
they ready.
Yeah, like they're ready. They're ready for us to join the fray with our baby. And I do appreciate that. We both come from very loving, strong families, and so I'm appreciative that we'll be able to bring in that baby out. Literally, I've had multiple people text me and be like, just let us know when. And I appreciate that. To know that love is going to be there.
I'm the last sibling without kids. I have 6 siblings, 3 brothers, 3 sisters, and I'm the only one without children. So,
and it'll be the first.
They looking at me like, you coming? You gonna join us?
So
that's a lot of pressure, but no pressure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of pressure, but no pressure.
Right.
Yeah, no pressure, but no pressure.
We're excited when that time does come.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like negative or anything. We just we'll make it happen when it's time.
I love we'll make it happen when it's time.
Look, I'm trying to keep it like
the mothers would say, you know what you're doing, baby, right?
We know what we're doing.
You don't have no kids after a year. The mothers start questioning. Are you doing it right? That's what they gonna
ask. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing.
They gonna ask.
We are just
if
enjoying.
It ain't nothing come out. Just
we just enjoying being married.
I love it. We should have thought about that too.
Well,
we did.
We did. I know.
We did. Our son came early.
Wait at least a year. That way you get to know each other and you can spend time with each other. Because once the kids come, man, it's all about the children.
Yeah.
But definitely get to know each other within that year. Travel as much as you can. Not saying that you can't travel with the kids.
You can absolutely travel with children.
Absolutely.
I always hear couples say, "Well, we don't get to travel because we have kids." Listen, they got a car seat too.
Yeah.
If they can get in the car,
everywhere.
Yeah, we do. We do it every year.
Everywhere. 1 year, all we gave our kids was passports. You welcome.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
So I love that. Listen, we are wrapping up, but we do want to ask.
Mhm.
You all are, Isaiah said, take y'all time. Listen, we got a bill for college, and I'm sitting here like, first of all, I look way too good to have a kid in college. That's number one. Number two, who these people think I is? And I'm very offended by the numbers on this paper. And number three, I'm offended that I can't get no money from this government. That's all I'm saying.
Not one more dime.
I mean, not a dime.
Hopefully we'll get something.
Something.
We'll see.
But you all have been married 6 months.
Mhm.
You are still, like you said, in the Similac phase.
Mhm.
Okay. What have you experienced in the first 6 months that you each were like, whew, I wasn't expecting this? Good or bad?
Mm.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
I would hope so.
I guess
Don't be on here lying, because I'm gonna tell.
No. And I think
I tell him, I tell him all the time, you better treat me right, because you don't treat me right,
No.
the Saints gonna know.
and I think
Saints will know.
I think because one thing my pastor he said to me, and it was kind of a confirmation thing. He was like, "Don't be afraid to take that step."
Mhm.
When I was like, should I? He's like, "Don't be afraid." And we both talked about it. I was surprised at how, and some people might say it's the honeymoon phase and all that, but I was surprised at how, I guess, easy it was for me and her to like adjust to living with each other. Because at first we were a little nervous, like, would my ways, make her mad? Would her ways make us mad? And it hasn't been. And before I said, some people used to say the first year is a bad year. You know how some people going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had 2 different marriages the first year.
Yeah. And
had 2 different ones.
And so we were talking about it. It's like it's not as crazy as some people try to make it. And so I would say that's the surprising thing to me, that it wasn't as scary as some people
That's good.
tell us it was.
Yeah.
Good.
I think me and him are both naturally overthinkers. And so that can kind of get in the way. So I think we constantly had to remind ourselves that some things don't have to be as scary, as intense, as big of a deal as we make it feel like it has to be, or that other people make it feel like it has to be. And I think the foundation of our relationship outside of God has been our friendship, because we sincerely do enjoy spending time with one another. I know for me personally, the part of marriage was not necessarily even the adjustment, because I was like, oh, that's going great. I think it was the fact that like life keeps going.
Yeah.
Bills still are due. I still got to go to work. My boss still expects certain things to be done. I'm in school. That still requires a certain level of responsibility and things to get done. We're both active in ministry. We're both actively working in our families and doing different things for our loved ones and being a part of what they have going on from time to time. So it was like this constant pressure of life still coming, while you're also still now trying to nurture this relationship that you just created and just publicly declared was the most important thing outside of your relationship with yourself and with God. And so that was kind of like the hard part, is learning how to prioritize, learning how to juggle those things. But what has been the benefit, or like the safe part of it, has been that our friendship has always been strong. And like there are times where we'll be in bed and it'd be like 2, 3 in the morning and we are cracking up about stuff. Or we are like, that was wild. Was that wild to you? Yeah. Or it's like you go out and you see something or something happens and it's like, oh, we about to go home and debrief about this. When we in the car, we debriefing. Like, did you peep that? Yeah, I peeped it. Did I peep it? Like, and having that bond has been such a beautiful, like, safe place for me. Like, I love that. Like, we both say, like, coming home is still like a really good part of our relationship.
That's good.
And maintaining that, like creating an environment where we always feel good. We understand that is something that we have to continue to work on. Like,
right.
You starting and it feels good right now, but we want to make sure that this is something that we sustain in our marriage. And so we are actively trying to lay a foundation of like peacefulness in our home. And he said something when we were dating. He said, a man of peace needs a woman of peace. And he always pushed this concept of, I want to be peaceful. Like, I don't want our marriage to be contentious. I don't want our relationship to be contentious. And we actively try to find ways to ensure that we're not living in a contentious dynamic in our home and in our relationship. And so I really do appreciate that, because that feels safe for me. He's made it feel safe. And so I love that.
I love that. Now, have y'all had contentious moments? Heated fellowship is what we like to call them.
Sure.
I be spicy, y'all. Y'all ain't know so spicy.
Because I'm like, we can be peace or you can get a piece. And that's
like, what you want today? Because it can get spicy. I can be Tabasco or I can be Pete. But I'm going to be some.
I'm going to be spicy.
Like,
I'm just asking.
It's
James Cleveland piece. No, we don't want. I mean, I can be James Cleveland piece.
Yeah, like there's a reason why he's so peaceful. Because I be spicy.
See?
And I always say he has a way about him and I have a way about me. And like I laugh because he doesn't raise his voice at me. You know, that's not the type of guy I marry. So he's not gonna raise his voice, he's not gonna call me out of my name. But if he calls my full government name,
oh boy,
and he looks me dead in the eyes and it's real firm, I done did too much. I know. My bad. I went a little too far. My bad.
Reel it back.
Yeah, like we're gonna bring it back. Or it's like there are times when I'm like, you are not hearing me. And I need you to hear me in this moment. And so we had those moments, but there was something his mom told me and told us that I really appreciate. She said, like, you don't have to always constantly argue.
Right.
Right. Don't get me wrong. There will be disagreements. There will be those moments where you don't see the same things the same way. But y'all don't have to have a argumentative, contentious dynamic. You know, if you don't want that, find a way to not have that. But still address the issue, still address what's going on. So it's like we're learning how to do that. But we want, like, it's tiring to sit up here and fight and argue with people. I've been in relationships like that. So I'm not really interested in having that. So we'll we're gonna fight for our relationship, but we're not about to be in here fighting.
We're learning how to We're learning how to communicate, because both of us, communication is very important. You know, and I had to learn it's okay for her to communicate how she does. And it doesn't have to communicate. It doesn't always have to communicate how I think she.
Can I tell them what happened yesterday?
No.
No. See, I promise it won't be bad. I'm gonna soften it, babe. I love you so much. I'm gonna tell it. Tell it. I promise you. Pinky promise.
Sure.
Caleb, like, as soon as this camera turned.
So we had. It really wasn't this. It was not a big deal. Yesterday, we're driving home from church. He gets off he's getting ready to turn onto the high to merge off of the highway, and I think there was a car that came out at the same time, and I felt like he was driving, and I'm trying to figure out, you didn't see the car? So in my nervousness, I said, what were you doing? And he was like, I didn't see the car. And I'm like, I can't remember. You said something like that.
Pay attention.
I did. I was like, pay attention. I didn't say it like as soft as that. It was very like, what are you doing? And
in my head, I was like,
first of all, don't you be talking to me like that. That's exactly how he felt. So we get to the restaurant we're going to, and it takes him a while. Like he drops me off.
See me, I'm
to
learning
go
how
in
to communicate my thoughts, because I can communicate them, but I have to communicate them right.
Right.
So he drops me off, and I'm like, it's been like 15, 20 minutes. Where is this man at? So then finally he comes in, and I'm like, babe, where were you? I'm all nice. I'm eating the chips. I'm drinking my little.
Yeah, we have moved on.
Like, I thought we were moved on from this. He was like, I didn't like the way you was talking to me.
Charlene, they be reckless, don't they?
I'm
reckless.
And I'm like, and in that moment, once he told me, I wish I could say I was saved, and I felt like, oh, babe, yes. I'm so sorry that I said, we are not about to have this discussion. I was scared. And so we left about a minute later.
Lord had to tell me, let it go.
And then afterwards, I did say, you know what? I was nervous. And that's why I responded in the way that I did. But also, I have a right to be nervous.
So was I.
We was
so
broke,
mad.
y'all.
Y'all, and
Yes,
whenever
yeah.
he does
But you have
this,
to you have to realize that you're in safe hands with my man Caleb.
yes,
You're in safe hands.
but
You're in safe hands.
I was like, I have to respond in the way that felt comfortable to me. And it was just, we laughed about it, we moved on, but it was just so funny because I should have known then.
No, but I love that.
Right, Edward.
And it was so small.
I love that you guys bring that up because, and I'm glad that you did tell it because I think too, we owe it to those that are watching, right? But we also owe it to ourselves to not paint this picture that it's all fun and rosy and happy because marriage is a job 24/7. You don't ever get to get off. I mean, you can quit, but you know, I always say a marriage is only as good as long as is only over when one person stops wanting it. It takes two to keep it. It takes one to lose it. So it's a job that you have to work at. People, especially in a day and time now when people want conflict over communication, people want conflict over conversation, right? They would rather be in contention than be content. So we would rather sit and talk about somebody than just go and have a conversation. We would rather sit in a car for 20 minutes, but
I had to collect myself. He said, "Did you be?"
The people in the restaurant?
Yeah, I should have known.
I was collecting myself, then I went in and had to.
Because y'all don't understand. I'm in there eating. We had a Mexican restaurant here in St. Louis. I'm eating chips. I'm ordering drinks. I'm out here with lemonade,
chips and salsa.
Had no clue this man was out in the car trying to figure out how he was going to face me when he came in. And I laughed because that is so him. Like, if he really, like, if something really bothered him, he going to go back, process it, get himself right before he comes in. But it just tickled me. So when he told me, I said, "Oh, I made you mad, didn't I? Oh, you was hot in that." Because y'all, I love the message. So I'm like, "Oh,
like Edward said, bro.
I tip tapped all over them nerves, didn't I?"
Dance.
Oh, like I'm
in the car for 20 minutes.
You want a chip? You want a chip?
But I like that you're able to learn, and you'll learn that. I mean, he's an introvert as well. I'm clearly the extrovert, right? But you have to learn those pressure points and how to communicate. He is also a processor, so I can't communicate with him the way I like to be communicated to. I have to communicate to him the way he wants to be communicated to, so that he receives it, and vice versa. I'm with you, sis. If the car accident, we didn't already say what we said in the car. I don't understand. I don't. Where
like everything? I said what I wanted to say.
I got chips. I got a whole appetizer. You still in the car? Like that? You know, in my mind.
I called him. Yeah, I was like, "I would be like, where are you?
Are we still there?" Right? I don't hold grudges. I get over things very quickly. But that's just me.
Not me.
Not for the
I was let sizzle for a while.
So we magic. Man, we have had a time talking to y'all. It has been fun. We family, especially with the St. Louis connection. I don't care what y'all feel about White Castle. Y'all still people.
we go
y'all
together.
Still our people.
We all go together real bad.
We gonna go together. We just gonna disagree on that one.
I'm not gonna go.
We're not gonna go to White Castle.
No, not White Castle. We
come to St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Come see about us.
Never mind. I have to tell my husband. Oh, he did you pass?
I'll go and I'll stay in the car.
No, babe, that's not what we saying.
We talking about White Castle.
No,
that's all I heard was White Castle.
That's not what we
said. After that, it was red.
I'll tell you afterwards. All right, if y'all can say anything to the people, shout out to y'all family that's in the chat. Shout out to the PCFI family that's in there. PAW. Shout out y'all. We see y'all. Thank y'all so much for interacting with us. For the Kirksies, tell us one last thing. What would you like to say to the people? Y'all got Caleb, do you have art that you sell? Like,
I'm working on some things.
He's a graphic designer.
I was like, do you do flyers? Do you do shirts?
What is the website, babe?
Yeah, my Omni
shout out to website.
He can't say it because now you can start over.
myomnidesign.com.
Somebody put it in the chat, please.
myomnidesign.com. Tell me twice.
And I got some other stuff coming, so we
all right. This is the website.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, our cousin Jessica's in the chat too. She is a phenomenal artist.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
And we
thank
you very much, Jalen.
Yeah.
myomnidesign.com. Y'all save that. I gotta put that in my phone. Let me screenshot it real quick.
If y'all need some graphic design or illustration help, he
Got
is
it.
the guy.
All right. Well, y'all, we had so much fun talking to y'all.
Cool,
it has been a blast.
Been good.
Before we let y'all go and before we sign off, Jalen, do you have anything? I mean, I know you in school and you doing your MBA, but what you got going on?
Come see me at the library. Get a library
I
card.
love come see me.
I'm so serious. Get a library card. The best thing you can do for your children and the best thing you can do for yourself is go and check out your public library and get a library card. I do preach.
I wasn't trying to put you out on blast, but we know Marvin ain't got no manners. I was really trying to get to that part.
Yeah, I don't.
You said it, so I was just gonna try and lead you in.
I do preach. I don't have any business cards for that. I don't have a website for that. No,
We'll look you up on YouTube.
But yeah, if I'm called, if someone invites me and prayerfully it's the right time to go, then I'm gonna go. So the invites are absolutely open if you want to have me come. But yeah, my main thing is come get a library card. I'm slinging library cards out here and trying to get people to get books.
I love slinging library cards.
Like it's a new era of librarianship.
Right.
So,
made me get one.
like I don't play.
You better.
You know me, I'm trying to get you at the library and I'm trying to get you a library card. So go check out your local library. Yeah, go check me out online, but go check out your local library first.
I love that.
Get a library card.
We got you
your child. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Well, we love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Love y'all too.
Love you guys. It was great being with you.
Listen, this has been amazing. I just want to thank everybody that again is in the comments section.
President is in the comments.
Appreciate you all for being on tonight. Shout out to our prayers. Amen. My brother, my friend. Amen. Pastor Elder Kyron Shorter. Doc, we appreciate you for allowing us to even have this platform to share our love story and to share other people's love stories. And again, we thank you all. Make sure you all like, love, and share this broadcast. I tell people all the time, we have the capability of being modern day Pauls and sharing the good news, sharing the word of God. And so we want everybody to hit that share button and share this with the world.
This has been your first episode of the Love Story Season 2. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pike. We are so excited for this new season. But more importantly, we are excited for y'all. We love y'all. We miss y'all. Yeah. And we will see y'all back around on the next episode of
The Love Story. Have a good one. Peace out.